it's time for us to look at the speaker. So is she ready? So Sue, any backstory with regard to this?
Not really. It's just that I have led teams for a number of years, and it's just really the experience that I've had in building teams that work together really well and achieve great outcomes. So hopefully there'll be some tips for other people in building their teams to get the best out of people. Okay.
And what's the background? Is it corporate? Is it government? Nonprofit?
Well, it's both, government and not-for-profit. So just really a background of leadership in whatever area you're in.
Okay. All right. All right. Anytime you're ready to go, let's rock and roll.
Okay. Thank you. So how many of you want to work in an awesome team? I can see a sea of hands and nodding heads. So I'm taking that it's really important for you to be part of an awesome team. And you have the power to make your team awesome. The first time I led a team is when I was 4 years of age. I got new shoes for Sunday school, and I wanted to show all the other little girls how I could tap dance in these shoes. A wonderful idea emerged. I decided that we could have a tap dance contest. I led an amazing dance on a beautiful, shiny marble stone that I found in the church grounds. We were having a fabulous time until we were spotted by our mothers dancing on a gravestone.
Oh.
The other little girls all dobbed me in. They said that I was the creative ideas person, and they were just doing what I told them to do. This was my first lesson in leadership. If you fail to build an awesome team, you will be left on the dance floor alone to face the music. Awesome teams are teams that we all want to be part of. They dance together on the right dance floor, demonstrating great teamwork. It's this teamwork that is their ultimate competitive advantage, because it is extremely powerful and unique. So I've come a long way since I was the self-appointed leader of my dance group. I have led senior leadership teams in both government and the not-for-profit sector. And during this time, I've learned to focus on 3 areas that make teams really powerful. These are effective recruitment, influence leadership style, and time. Now, effective recruitment provides the opportunity to build teams that work together like a finely tuned tap dance. When I recruit staff, I always choose vicunas. Vicunas are an animal from South America. I've got a picture here, if you can see. They're very closely related to the llama family. Vicunas have fur or wool that is more valuable than gold, and they are survivors. They have learned to survive in this world despite being listed as an endangered species. I choose vicunas because of their wonderful attributes. So the V stands for values. Vicunas have respect, gratitude, and integrity. And you can't always find those values in all people. Vicunas are inspirational. They inspire people about your project and inspire people about their own work. They are caring. They genuinely care about all the members in the team and the stakeholders. They are unique. They celebrate their own uniqueness, and they are inclusive of everyone else in the team and in your wider stakeholder network. They are nice people. People generally don't want to do business with arrogant people, no matter how skilled or clever they may be. We need nice people to bring people for the journey, along for the journey. Vicoonas are ambitious. They are able to strive for their own ambition and strive to succeed in the work that they're doing. And they are smart people, but not just intelligently smart. They have emotional intelligence, analytical intelligence, and they are very clever people to work with. So Vicoonas, to me, are your ideal team members. But a whole team of Vicoonas is truly awesome. So let's move on to the influence leadership style. Influence leadership and power leadership are very different. It's often thought that if you're leading an awesome team, you have to have power over your team to have that influence. But there's been a lot of research that proves that that's actually not the case. If you are leading with an influence leadership style, you are able to inspire and influence other people in a really positive way that builds the self-esteem of the team and supports people to really want to do their very best. On the other hand, if you're a power leader, you tend to dictate what people need to do, failing to build team morale and not giving credit to your team members for the work that they're able to do. So you may have realised that in my dance concert, when I led as a 4-year-old, I used a power leadership style, bossing all the other little girls into dancing on that gravestone. And the results were disastrous because no one had my back when we were caught. The next thing we need to do is give time. Time is one of the most challenging things to invest in your team when we're in such a hectic paced lifestyle in our work and our personal life. But it's actually the most effective way to establish great teamwork. As a leader, you need to take time to dance on the dance floor with your team. But you also need to dance on the balcony of leadership. So when you're dancing with your team, you get a completely different view than when you're looking from the balcony and you're able to look at the strategic direction that that team is taking. So leaders need to be prepared to give their time to support their team and to give the guidance and shape the way they want the team to be. They must be prepared to go the extra mile to show their staff that they're valued and encourage feedback and understand your staff members' individual circumstances. So in summary, to be a great leader and build awesome teams, there are 3 things that you need to pay close attention to. You need to recruit carefully. Hire Vicoonas. They are incredibly special team members. You need to develop an influential leadership style to build strong and respectful relationships so you can inspire and build trust and confidence in your team. And you need to give generously of your time to support, shape and guide the team. So I'm going to ask again, how many of you want to work in an awesome team? And how many of you believe that you can lead an awesome team? So take the time to dance with your staff and build the awesome team that you want to be part of. I promise you it will be worth the effort. Thank you. Back to you, Ed.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. Let's give her a hand. Let's give her some love there. All right. So let me get out of here and go back to gallery view. Okay, there we go. All righty. So Sue, thank you very much. Here are the things that I liked about your speech. And by the way, in the chat, feel free to add anything else. So if you have any observations, we're actually going to look at the chat as well. And again, this is just Ed's view. It's just one person's opinion, etc. And again, it's one set of eyes. All of us are smarter than just one of us. So I would be interested in your feedback as well. So number one, she did something very sophisticated. I'm going to start out with the last thing that she did. And it's an advanced, it's a professional technique. It's called circular construction. Circular construction is that you end just like you started. So she asked us at the very beginning, how many of you like to be part of awesome teams? And guess what? At the end, she asked us the same question as well. Okay, so basically this is a persuasive speech. It's a persuasive technique. So that's one thing I like. Breaking preoccupation. She broke preoccupation. She framed the message very, very quickly. She jumped into it. There was no preamble, no pre-ramble. She just got on with it. Immediately, she began with a story, which I liked, which gave us some insights into 4-year-old Sue. Very funny story. Oh my, I did not see the gravestone, dancing on the gravestone coming, but memorable. Very, 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 very memorable. And again, I enjoyed that as well. Sue, let me ask you, is this a 5 to 7 minute speech or is it longer? I didn't time it. Or you can just throw up hands. Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. I did this as a 25-minute speech some time ago, and then I reduced it into a 7-minute, yes.
Okay, great, because I felt like there's enough content in here for a much longer speech. For example, where you, I don't know how to spell the animal, but when you gave the acronym, for, spelling it out right there, I felt that was, again, a lot longer presentation. So that was going to be part of my feedback, but thank you for telling me that. Let's see, very organized. Okay, this speech was incredibly easy to follow. We knew where you were in each part of your particular speech as well. Let's see what else I have written here. 3 areas of recruitment, the different areas of recruitment, influence, and style. So I talked about the close. Okay, a couple of recommendations. This felt like an off the shelf presentation. First of all, you're a very polished presenter. Okay? You're a very polished presenter. It seems like you've been doing this for a great many years, etc. So because of that, I'm probably going to be like a little slightly harsher on you as a prepared professional. You come across as a professional, so I'm just going to treat you as a professional. It felt like an off-the-shelf speech, an off-the-shelf presentation. What I meant by that is this is something that you've given many, many times. The thing I'm inviting you to do is what I did earlier, and that is I acknowledge the fact that we are in this worldwide pandemic. I talked about, we're in, with my teddy bear in the COVID-95. A buddy of mine who's in the Speaking Hall of Fame, he said, a speaker must acknowledge the newfound pain that there is in the world. So in this case, one thing I would want to know, yeah, this is a great formula. It's a great recipe for leadership and team building, but how does it relate now? Okay, again, that's a content piece. That is like, okay, how do you take this existing, this great recipe, and how's that relevant now? Because right now, the teams are dispersed. The teams everyone's in their home. If you're a leader, how do you lead now? How do you lead remotely? And how do you lead from your living room when your kids are in the background and the dog is over here and you hear a baby crying in the background? That's reality. I mean, that's the newfound pain. So I want to know more about that. So if you were to give this presentation again, please, and by the way, people they're actually mentally exhausted hearing about COVID and hearing about coronavirus, okay? So I wouldn't make that the emphasis. I would just talk about how we are now, the place that we find ourselves. And the recommendation is coming out of this. So like here in the USA, there are certain states which people are going back to work slowly, if you will. And then I don't know if life is ever going to be the same, at least for a couple of years personally. So how can we use your recipe and your formula to make that transition as we leave our homes and we go back into the office place? So for me, that's the thing that was in the back of my head. That's the curiosity I had. The other thing I'm going to invite you to do is, for example, you had a couple of cliches, going the extra mile. I've heard the balcony metaphor before. Sue, I want you to create your own metaphors. I want you to create your own cliches, your own expressions, if you will. Okay. So for example, I've created my own, panic, don't pivot, so as opposed to, something else that I've heard before. You're very, very intelligent person. You're very sharp. You're very smart. I can just tell that. And you're capable of doing that. So what I'm inviting you to do is go clicheless, if you will. Take out these cliches that we've heard over and over again, because the moment you use a cliche, people start to tune out because they're saying like, well, that wasn't an original thought. Are there not any other original thoughts in this presentation? And that's the danger of using overused cliches over and over again. Make sense? All right, so let's look in the chat. Let's see some of the feedback here and just, quick things. Let's see, so what we got going on here. Great delivery, Sue. Thanks for sharing wonderful speech with us this morning. Okay, her time was closed at 9 minutes. Thank you, whoever timed it.